What's this? A lone little human making its way onto my estate. Are you lost? You walk with purpose, looking only forward. You certainly don't look lost. I can't help but hope that a willing meal has stumbled into my path. It has been so very long since I've tasted human blood. But I'm not entirely without reason. Perhaps you do not know of the dangers that await you here. I will give you one chance, and only one, to run away. Run. Why are you running towards my home, human? Wrong way, darling. If you continue running towards my mansion, I will have to give chase. Very well, then. Gotcha. Congratulations, you made it all the way up to my front door. Let me look at you. Well, aren't you just exquisite? I haven't seen a human up close in ages, and you do not disappoint. You're rather easy on the eyes. I could keep you around just to look at you. But that's not why you've come here. What is your purpose here? Forgive my rudeness. It must be hard to speak with a hand around your throat. There. Now, tell me, why are you here? What has emboldened you to seek me out? Oh no, hesitation. Why do I sense you're about to bore me? I'll make you a deal, human. If the next words out of your mouth interest me, you may come inside and we will continue this little intrigue. Well, aren't you just delightful? Come in. Please sit down. I said sit down. Now, why on earth would you want to be turned? Why would you want to be a vampire like me? I suppose you could accomplish a lot in an eternity, but what specifically do you want to do? Education, travel, curing diseases, space exploration, making art, all working to improve humanity through your experience. That's very noble, but what of you? So far, you've told me many ways you want to contribute to the world, but eternity, it wears on a person. After decades of slow progress, will you fall into frustration, as so many of us have? After watching your friends and family die of old age, and then their children and grandchildren after them. Will the despair choke you? Will you let it drive you to drastic measures? We are powerful, young one. One misstep and we can harm so many. In most cases, those little slip-ups will be lost to time, and the humans may forget, but I can assure you, you will not. Every time you blink, those dying gasps and the sensation of blood spilled will haunt you. Are you prepared for an eternity of making mistakes and then being forced to remember them? And let's pretend for a moment that you have more fortitude than any vampire before you, and you make no such mistakes. Even so, are you prepared to give all of yourself to help the human race, only for them to despise you, fear you, or, in the best case scenario, objectify you, turn you into a fetish? Well, you're correct. We are bold in that regard. What can I say? We enjoy the pleasures of the flesh. But that does not seem to bother you. Skin so warm under my touch. But you came here to speak of business. I'm afraid I don't make a habit of creating progeny. It's rather draining physically. And then there are the several years of training I would need to invest in you to ensure that you don't become a mindless beast. No, I'm not obligated to. The laws only require me to care for you through your first feeding, and make sure you're of sound mind afterward, but my personal standards are a bit higher. Why? Forgive the pun, but poor training has come back to bite me in the past. You're willing to undergo the training. You don't even know that we're compatible. How can you say that you would enjoy my company for several years, even if I would very much enjoy yours? And then there's the matter of your blood. Yes, your blood. It's a very long story, but the short version is this. Centuries ago, hundreds of vampire hunters developed a sort of mutation. We believe it was a spell of some sort, but we don't know where they got it. It prevents them from being turned. Instead, they merely die a quick death. Whatever they did to change themselves passed on genetically, and it's a dominant trait. If any of your ancestors had it, you too will have it. In addition to that, as I said before, turning someone into a vampire is rather draining. I'm afraid I won't have the strength to do that. Yes, I did just pin you to the front door with one hand, and I'll gladly do it again. But I've been feeding on animals for the better part of 2 centuries, with only a handful of willing human meals in that time. That's not enough to give me the kind of energy I'd need to turn you. Why so few humans? Oh, of course I like the taste. Human blood is delectable, but unlike many of my brethren, I prefer my meals to be willing. They don't struggle, and the blood is sweeter when it's not laced with the tang of fear. Oh, the excitement is still there. One can easily replicate the thrill of the hunt. How would one know about the genetic mutation? It's simple. I would be able to taste it in your blood. Can I still feed on a vampire hunter even if they cannot turn? Of course, I can feed on anyone. You have an idea. Come closer, human. And what is your idea, precisely? You would consent to me feeding on you. I would be able to taste your blood to know if you could be turned, and I would also be able to strengthen myself enough to turn you. I'm afraid feeding only once would not get me where I need to be. It would take several feedings for me to be able to share that kind of power with you. And if I were going to do it carefully, to avoid draining you completely, it would take several months. That would give me ample time to decide if you're worthy of being turned, but I must confess I worry for your well-being. No, do not take my hesitation as disinterest, human. The scent of your blood is particularly tempting, and I would love nothing more than to sink my fangs into your neck, but is this really what you want? To be fed on for several months, then to be turned. To be powerful and immortal, yes, but cursed for all eternity. I can feel your pulse quicken already, but I must hear the words. Is this what you truly desire? Well then, if you change your mind at any time, you need only say the word. Otherwise, lean back and try to enjoy yourself. It's supposed to be a rather pleasurable experience for a human, if done correctly. Now, relax. Take a deep breath. Well, you are most definitely not descended from vampire hunters. You taste intoxicating, more delicious than anyone I've ever fed on. May I continue? Thank you, darling. How do I feel? You've just been consumed like a fine wine, and you're asking me how I feel. Energized, content, and increasingly fond of you. And you? How do you feel? Yes, exhaustion is normal. Here, let me make you comfortable. There. Sleep as long as you need. Call for me when you wake. I'll see to it that you get something to eat. I am certainly looking forward to our time together, human. Now rest.